What are we doing? What are we doing? Caitlin Clark that's setting out games, or is it the Indiana Fever making Caitlin Clark set out games?
After a report about Caitlin Clark, ESPN shared something shocking about coach Stephanie White that is shaking up the WNBA. It all began when White made a mistake while talking on TV.
Is she insinuating that there's drama in the locker room? Because this is what I know I'm not tripping here.
From that point on, the real story started to come out. What was supposed to be a normal update on an injury led people to think the Fever might be keeping Caitlin Clark off the court on purpose. Now, people are getting very angry about it.
Now, news broke moments ago that Caitlin Clark will not be playing in tonight's game.
Caitlin Clark is not playing because of what the team calls a right groin injury, and they say her return is day-to-day, for whatever that's worth. That day-to-day description is starting to feel more like week-to-week, or maybe even waiting until August. An ESPN reporter recently said Clark saw a special doctor who found no new problems. There was nothing new to share.
No additional injury was found in that exam and scans, but Stephanie White did tell us that they will be even more cautious with their approach to her return to play this time.
But her return date was somehow moved all the way to the 3rd week of August, which is a long time away. Just when things seemed very confusing, a video appeared showing Caitlin Clark kicking a soccer ball with a lot of force.
I don't think Caitlin Clark should be kicking any down balls, quite frankly. She should be resting her frickin' leg.
She wasn't just standing there or playing around. She was using the very same leg that is supposed to be hurt. This wasn't an old video from the past. It was filmed now, at the same time she is being kept out of games. Fans are upset. Some feel let down, while others are just doubtful. One fan wrote that if she is healthy enough to swing her leg with such power, why isn't she on the court shooting or running? That question is being asked over and over. Is Caitlin Clark really hurt, or is a bigger secret being kept?
Shooting, and she's been with our athletic training team, and we've been preparing everybody else.
This is when experts started to speak up, making a very important point. What if sitting out isn't Clark's decision?
And as most people know, you have to work your way through that, and she did, and she's been really impactful for us off the bench. And we wanted to bring her energy, but I think at the end of the day, we have to be where our feet are. We have to approach every day and every game.
What if the Indiana Fever are the ones holding her back? This is where the situation starts to get messy. Think about what happened earlier this season. Caitlin came back from an injury before, and the team put her right back in games without any real practice or getting back in shape. That much is known to be true. But now they are being extremely careful, saying she needs to build up her strength in practice, find her flow with her teammates, and get back into playing slowly. It seems strange that they suddenly care so much about her recovery time. The way the team is talking about the situation is making it even worse. They give unclear answers in press meetings and use odd phrases like, "We're protecting her better this time," and "We're making sure she has the right rhythm." Nothing about this sounds straightforward or sure, and it certainly does not seem like Caitlin Clark, one of the most driven and famous athletes in the country, is the one making these choices. Then there is the big issue nobody is talking about. What is happening in the locker room? Stephanie White, who has been at the center of all this, held a press conference that only made people more suspicious. She talked about outside noise and said that what happens with the team should stay with the team. But if there were no problems behind the scenes, why would she need to say that? Her words made people feel uneasy. She did not sound like a coach giving a simple injury update. She sounded like a person trying to manage a bigger problem without saying the wrong thing, and fans noticed it right away. A YouTuber said it perfectly: "Things are looking spooky. Even the timing of it all is questionable." The Indiana Fever are set to play the Phoenix Mercury, a game with a lot of bad blood. Remember, Diana Taurasi and Dana Bonner are on that team, and Bonner left the Fever on very bad terms. That game is personal, and now Clark is not playing in it. Some feel that keeping Clark on the bench is a way to keep her away from the drama and the media. Others think it is to avoid hard questions. But one thing is certain: no one thinks this is just a simple groin injury anymore. This is about more than just managing an injury. It is about controlling the story and maybe cleaning up a mess for a team that is trying to hide something much bigger than what they are saying. With every new video, strange quote, and missed game, the truth seems to be getting further away. The Fever might hope that fans will simply stop asking questions, but they will not. Not when it concerns Caitlin Clark, the biggest star the league has had in a long time, and not when the answers don't add up. Let's be honest, Stephanie White's most recent talk with the press did not explain anything. In fact, it did the opposite, making people even more suspicious. It was the kind of press talk where you pause and think, did she just hint at drama without actually saying it? Here is what Stephanie said. "We try to keep what happens inside." That might seem like a normal thing for a coach to say, but the way she said it was different. She seemed nervous and careful, like someone trying to stop a secret from getting out. Then she talked about emotional stress and what people outside the team are saying, and how hard it has been to ignore all the noise. What noise is she talking about? If everything in the locker room is fine, why are they talking as if they are in the middle of a crisis? At one point, it felt less like a sports update and more like someone speaking to the media after a political problem. It was unclear and defensive, and she did not sound like a coach who was confidently in charge of her team. She sounded like someone trying to avoid trouble. And the fans noticed it immediately. People who commented online did not hold back. Their reactions showed what many were thinking. Something is not right, and that feeling has not gone away. It has only grown stronger. But just when things couldn't get more tangled, the Phoenix Mercury come into the picture, bringing with them old drama involving Dana Bonner. For those who don't know the story, Dana Bonner's departure from the Indiana Fever was, to put it mildly, not a happy one. It was a messy split that left a bad mark on the team. Now she is coming back to town with the Mercury, which feels like a big showdown. This was not just another game on the calendar. The Fever likely had this game marked as very important. This was personal. There was old business to settle. And what does Stephanie White do? She publicly says good things about Dana Bonner and the Mercury. She's found her fit, she said, and she's comfortable in that system. What is that about? Fans are trying to understand why their team is a mess, why Caitlin Clark is not playing even though she looks healthy, and why Stephanie is suddenly being nicer to a rival than supporting her own players. At this stage, people are asking the important questions. Is Caitlin Clark being kept out of games to draw attention away from the problems inside the team? Because honestly, if Caitlin played against Bonner, it would get huge amounts of attention, leading to news stories, questions, and tension. Maybe someone wanted to avoid all that. And maybe keeping Clark out was about more than just healing her groin. Then, just when you think the situation can't get any stranger, sports experts speak up and they are very direct. This is a clown show, they said, and they might have a point. Their main complaint is the lack of consistency. Earlier in the season, the Fever put Caitlin back on the court right after an injury with no warm-up period, no real practice, and no time to get back in shape. It was like, she's ready to go. Great, put her in. There was no hesitation. But now, all of a sudden, they are acting like she needs an extreme training plan before she can even participate in a practice drill. Now it is all about being extra careful and getting in sync with her teammates. Where was that same care before? Then the soccer ball video happened. That video became popular for a reason. Caitlin Clark, the same player who was supposedly not ready to play basketball, was seen kicking a soccer ball without limping or moving carefully. She swung her leg as if she were back in high school playing on the team. And yes, fans saw it. One person even commented, "If she can do that, she can hoop." Another wrote, "So, we're just pretending this groin injury is that serious now?" The internet was buzzing because what people were seeing on video did not line up with what the team was saying in interviews. That is when the questions really started to build up. Is the team telling the truth about her injury, or are they creating a story to hide something else? Whether it's about team problems, protecting relationships, or just bad management, the whole thing feels wrong, like fans are only being told part of the story while the rest is kept secret behind that keep it inside wall Stephanie talked about. And really, that is the main source of the anger. This is not just about basketball anymore. This is about trust. Fans want clear answers. They want things to be consistent. And most of all, they want to know that the league's biggest star isn't being kept out of games for reasons no one is willing to say out loud. Because when you have confusing press talks, strange compliments for former players, a mysterious injury, and viral soccer kick videos, people are going to start asking what is really happening. At this point, it is not just drama. It is starting to feel like a full-on WNBA TV show, with Caitlin Clark stuck in the middle of it all. And no, these ideas about what's going on are not even that wild anymore. Let's ask the clear question. Is Caitlin Clark really hurt, or is she being kept quiet by team issues? Because the feeling around the situation is very off. There are rumors flying around about fights in the locker room, possible issues with the team's management, and pressure from the media affecting the whole organization. This feels like more than just managing a player's workload. It feels like a major attempt to control a bad situation. What's even more odd is that Clark isn't at home resting, as you might expect for someone with a real groin injury. No, she's traveling with the team, sitting on the bench, smiling, and appearing on camera. Is that meant to make people feel better, or is it just for show? Some fans are even wondering if the team is keeping her close to watch what she says or does. Because if she is too hurt to play, why is she seen everywhere except on the court? That makes this next part even more interesting. The rumors about her wanting to leave. At this point, this isn't just about an injury or basketball. This is about how the league and one of its main teams are handling the most important new player in recent WNBA history. And if they are messing it up this badly, it will not be long before something has to give. So, here we are. We have a coach who speaks in riddles, a strange injury timeline, a silent locker room, and a superstar who is not playing but is still everywhere. And no one is giving fans a straight answer. But Caitlin Clark's silence is the loudest thing of all right now. And the longer the team avoids the truth, the more people will question what is really going on.